Good evening, good day, and welcome to Yoga Journeys. My name is YVONNE GARRO, and I am a yoga teacher with More Yoga. And Yoga Journeys is an element of the Connection Cafe. Connection Cafe started, last March at the first lockdown as a way for us to connect as the studios were closed. And then in the summer when George Floyd was tragically killed, More Yoga asked me to hold space in whatever way I felt was appropriate. And I decided to come up with a way to amplify the voices and share the stories of the array of amazing yoga teachers of color that there are. So today is no different. I'm going to introduce you to an awesome yoga teacher who has many other disciplines. Welcome, Natasha Lee, otherwise known as CocoRed. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me. That was such a lovely introduction. Wow, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Very welcome indeed. So here we are, your yoga journey.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important, before I delve into the yoga journeys questions, I think it's really important to ask the person in the hot seat, you, to introduce yourself as you would if you were in a lift with somebody for the first time. So how would you, or how do you introduce yourself? So you're in a lift, you're introducing yourself to someone, floor is yours.
Okay. Hi, I'm nice to meet you. I'm Natasha. I'm also known as Coco. I am a movement artist and also a practitioner of wellness. I work as a choreographer also, so I use the multidisciplinary skills that I have to have been able to form a career of mindfulness, movement, and I think holistic wellness and just well-being, like maintenance, and I feel like it definitely is maintenance. It's not just a quick fix, it's definitely maintenance.
That's key. Maintenance. Well-being practitioner, like it.
So
and then sorry, say that again.
I think that's how I would introduce myself.
Love it. And please do weave all of your multidisciplines into the answers, because yes, it's yoga focused, but many of you have got more than one string to the bow. So please weave it in accordingly. Okay. So you ready for the questions?
I guess I sometimes forget I'm a really small business owner. So I have that as well. So I probably wouldn't have, I would have missed that out because I sometimes.
Yeah, maybe you need to start weaving that in. So you can tell us more about that as we go through. So definitely want to hear more about that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you ready for the yoga journeys questions?
Let's go. Yes. Awesome.
Okay, first question. Honoring our ancestors, please tell us your family lineage.
So my grandparents from my dad's side are from Jamaica, as are my grandparents from my mum and dad's side. My mum's side, sorry. So my dad's Jamaican and my mum was also. So my dad was born there. He came to England when he was about 18, and then went to live in Yorkshire, which is where I'm from, in Huddersfield. They'll probably know that. But I'm actually a northerner. I was actually born there as well. And then my mum was born in Jamaica, and then came over when she was, I think, about 1 year old with my grandma. So my grandma and grandma from my mum's side are part of the Windrush generation. So, and then they came over, I think they lived in Bristol for some time, to then reside in Yorkshire, Huddersfield, which is where my mum and dad met, in Huddersfield.
Wow. Where did they meet? In a hospital?
In Huddersfield.
Oh, in Huddersfield, right. Okay.
And then that's where I was born.
When did you come to London then? I've never noticed a Yorkshire accent.
Well, I can quite easily put it on. People don't realise that I can actually speak with a Yorkshire accent. And you've never heard me speak like that before.
No, amazing.
And I think a lot of people watching this will be really shocked as well. But
love it.
Yes,
love it.
A Londoner. So I think I moved here when I was about 1 to 2 years old. I was the first grandchild to kind of be born and grown up like in my grandma's house. So
right.
I have a lot of lovely special treatment from my gran.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, Jamaican. You know, my ancestry is obviously African, but like my culture and my heritage is from Jamaica, and that's kind of, we strongly grew up with that culture when I was growing up. You know, I'm very much connected and very much in touch with my culture. You know, we've been several times and so on and so forth. So it's like, you know, it's a really tricky question. Like sometimes when people say, "Oh, where are you from?" Because yes,
yeah, that question, where are you from? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like I guess my nationality is British, but I don't feel like British. Do you know what I mean? Just because in my family have really, really strongly been connected to my culture from Jamaica. So yeah, I often say that. Sometimes I wear this as well, which makes things just a bit easier. I have this like band that I wear.
Okay.
Filters out.
Okay.
You know.
Wonderful. Thanking you. Okay, so when, where, and with whom was your first yoga class? And you might want to say your first dance class, because obviously with the choreography. So tell us with the first yoga class, and then maybe tell us where the dance came in as well.
Yeah, okay. So my first yoga class that I guess remember was I actually started doing hot yoga some years ago, like quite a long time ago, with my mum. But before that, as I have a profession as a dancer, yoga was kind of, I guess, part of my practice in terms of my physical. So in terms of trying to remember like the very first class, it's probably one of my teachers on my course, you know. But then I remember going to hot yoga. Is actually the other style of hot yoga, which I'm not going to mention.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, my mum used to go a lot. She was like, this was years ago, and she's like, come to yoga. She used to go like every morning before work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, right, yeah, at 7 a.m. And so I went. She did that for about 3 years, 2 to 3 years. And so I went a couple of times with her, and I can't remember his surname, but my teacher was Paul. He's a guy called Paul, black guy, and it was really nice to actually see a black and male teacher.
Yes, yeah.
Wow. And, you know, I could see the draw as well. So, you know, I continued to go to his classes. And then I realized that hot it just wasn't for me. It was quite static, and like having been a movement artist, I really like to move.
Yes, yeah.
And so, yeah, I kind of parked that for a little bit. Mum kept going. And then years later, in, when was it, 2017, I was traveling. So I left England at one point to go and live in Australia for a year.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then during that time, I made a couple of trips in Asia, and one of the trips was to Bali. So this was 2017. And I was looking for a Vinyasa flow class. So this is, to my knowledge, this is kind of where my actual practice actually started and deepened. And to my knowledge, the first time I was like, wow, you know, struck by the practice itself. And I was I was on Gili Trawangan, I think that's how you pronounce it. And I was looking for a yoga class, a Vinyasa flow class actually. And then I met this teacher, she's called Bella, who is now my dear friend. I said, I'm looking for a yoga class, you know, can you help me out? And she said, well, we don't have a Vinyasa, but we've got this fly high yoga. And I was like,
fly high yoga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, okay, interesting. But, you know, it was a practice, and I was like, cool, I'll do it. And then I cycled around the island that evening to go to this.
Natasha, hold on. I'm going to press pause. I don't know why this is jumping, so bear with me a sec.
So I cycled around the island, and then arrived at this rooftop studio facing the beach. So this space was called, I think it's called Sunset Beach Yoga. And it's basically a class probably around 5 or 6 o'clock. So you practice your yoga class during the sunset facing the ocean. So
beautiful.
On that. And then in the first time that we did it, so it's like I'm an aerial yoga teacher as well, but this specific thing was like a belt, and you get to invert. And for me, I guess, like as a dance artist, anything sort of wacky and like, I don't know, with my body that I can kind of do, I'm just like, I love it. So I think I instantly fell in love with it quite quickly, you know. In the first, I say 10 minutes of the class, I was like, how can I do this for however long, you know? And then, so that was my first class. And obviously the experience of, you know, being on the ocean and being in Bali and stuff like that was just quite magic. So I wanted to then continue to keep my practice up. So when I went back after those travels in Bali to Australia, I found a studio in Melbourne called Body Flow Yoga, who are just absolutely incredible. And they were such like incremental part of my growth and knowledge as a yogi, because I then started to, I mean, obviously at the time I wasn't fully fledged into the practice, but like it's there that my journey continued and got me to where I am today, you know. So I would then practice, so they were an aerial yoga studio, but there were other practices. So I would take vinyasa flow classes there, yin classes, restorative aerial classes, which are amazing.
Excellent. A restorative aerial class.
Honestly,
what?
It's just so wonderful. It's so like you just feel held and supported. In a restorative class, I generally feel like that anyway. But yeah, with the hammock, it's just, I don't know, I guess people don't realize the amount of things that you can do with an aerial silk.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
That studio for several times a week now for about 6 months, and then came back to England and then continued my practice. So my first yoga class, basically, it was in Bali.
Was where? Sorry?
It was in Bali.
So that, you know, it sounds absolutely amazing. And I suppose, as you mentioned it, I didn't jump in at the time, so I'm going to take you back. What took you to Australia in the first place to make you then arrive in Bali?
I was at a point in my life where I needed a shift and I needed a change. You know, I had been doing, I guess, what I was doing for quite some time, you know, working as a dance teacher, a choreographer, and performing and stuff. And I guess, like, I needed something different. And I was actually also, and I can't exactly remember why, but I was going through some sort of like, I think I was feeling probably a little bit depressed at that time as well. And I feel that I just needed something to, so I think I'm quite well known for like just living like quite freely and just just going and doing whatever. And so that was one of the things. I had a friend there at the time, and she was like, come, like, are you coming? And I've been saying it for years and years. And I got to this point where I was, I guess, stagnant, and I needed something just to change. You know, I love my job, but I was sort of in a place where I just needed something a little bit different. And so that opportunity came up. And then, I think I was initially going for like 3 months.
But then you ended up being there for a year.
Yeah. So it was really amazing. One of the best, I think, decisions that I'd ever made, because it catapulted things, you know. So yeah.
Amazing. So I'm going to wrap them up together again, the yoga and the dance. When did you realize you wanted to teach? So it sounds like obviously you were teaching dance before you were teaching yoga.
Yeah.
When did you realize you wanted to teach dance? And then when did you realize you wanted to teach yoga?
Okay, so great question. Thank you. I'm like having to think about that myself as well. So I started, I think it was about 2015. I started dancing like as a student, kind of just classes and stuff. You know, got in companies, traveled around certain various countries, traveling, dancing and stuff, and then kind of thought, oh, I'd like to actually do this maybe, you know, professionally full time. So I went to study. So I went to Lewisham College for 2 years, an amazing dance course there, incredible teachers, and then Middlesex University for another 3 years, got my degree there, and then the last year majored in choreography. Whilst I was there, I mean, I used to dance when I was younger. Mum kind of started me and my sister dancing from when we were like 5 years old, but then I stopped when I was like about 16. So then going back to it as an adult in my 20s, like probably mid to late 20s, was very but I think, like, for me, I'd done performing, that was great, loved it, but I also wanted a skill that I could do outside of being a performer. So I majored in the last year. And then I guess from that, like, teaching kind of just, it came with it, you know, working as a choreographer, you have to then start putting, you know, your own voice out there and you know, grafting. And I did for years. So I started my own company as well, like dance company, when I was in my last year of university, I think. It was just really, I mean, it's not luck, it was a lot of hard work, but, you know, I was really fortunate to have been kept, like, performing and working with the company and stuff like that. So that was kind of how I ended up into teaching. And then with the yoga practice, I think it was after maybe about a year and a half after I'd started, I was like, I knew how much it changed my life, because it changed my life in a very short space of time. Yeah. And I'm sure many people can relate to that have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their life. Very short space of time, changed my life radically. And so I think after about a year and a half, I felt like I wanted to then do the same, and I was ready to share, you know. I wanted to still learn so much.
Every day. Every day.
So it's kind of like that imposter syndrome kind of creeps in and says, but, you know, like, who are you? Like, are you good enough? Like, who said you could be a yoga teacher? But then I didn't listen to that. I just knew that I knew what it did for me, and I knew that I wanted to then share that, you know. So that was basically my purpose. Started with me, and now it's no longer about me. It's
about
this gift with other people.
Sharing, absolutely. Okay, wonderful. So this will be interesting for you to share. So obviously you had training in the dance world, training in the yoga world. Can you remember both trainings, roughly how many people were in the group, and then how many people of color were in your dance training, and then same in the yoga training?
Wow, well, interesting that, actually. I just got goosebumps, actually. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so when I was dance training at Lewisham College, they were many students of color. It was a really kind of like, can I say cultured? Yeah. Course that we were on, and it was very diverse. And
how many people were roughly on the course?
I'd say probably, on the course, so they had different years. I guess in my class, maybe say 20. And if you think out of 20, probably 80% of those were students of colour.
Wow.
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
It was amongst most of the classes. So it was amazing, you know, like we would be doing ballet in the studio and jazz, and then like in the breaks we'd be playing hip hop music. It was just such a nice feeling to, like, I just felt home, you know. And then I went to do my degree at Middlesex, and I was one of 2 Black females, or maybe 3 of us, I think, in my class.
Out of how many?
So about 30.
Wow. Okay. So that was the dance degree. Okay.
Dance degree. And in the whole year, I'd say, when I was studying the whole year, I think there was probably about maybe 10 to 15 students of colour, maybe 100. And we all used to hang around. We were all friends.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, there was a massive difference. I used to, the other Black girl in my class, the teachers would call us each other's names sometimes. So, you know.
Yeah.
I know I didn't really explain that to you. So that was quite telling, you know, at times. I mean, it was a wonderful experience. Best decision I ever made, again, like going to university to actually further my studies.
And your yoga training in Bali,
so
how big a cohort was that?
I was I the only one? So I was the only Black student, and then I had two students from Pakistan, and then that was it. I think the rest of them were European. Yeah.
Roughly how big a group?
Oh, it was a small group, probably about 10 to 15 of us.
Okay. It's a nice small group. Okay.
And I did my, because I teach Vinyasa as well and Hatha, and I did that online. And do you know, out of hundreds of students, I was very, very rarely in a Zoom room with any students of colour. Very, very, very few. And it was quite surprising because there was, I mean, was it surprising? I don't know. But there was hundreds of people on the course. And, you know, I remember one day I actually went on the course and actually clicked through nearly every student just to see. And I was one of very, very few. Yeah.
That's been the kind of, you know, the pattern through all of the interviews. I think the most we've had is 7 in a group of about 30. But slowly, over time, those numbers will start to change. And then we have, you know, inspiring courses like Radical Darshan doing their 300 hours. So, you know, and that's 4 women of color putting that on. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so let's now move on to the wellness industry, highs and lows of the wellness industry. So when you think of the wellness industry, what are the lows for you? What are the highs for you? I would ask you to start with the lows and then we end on a high.
Yeah, okay. What are the lows? Goodness. I think people, I guess, thinking that as practitioners and teachers and facilitators that we are like superhuman and that we don't have emotions and that we can't ever have like off days and things like that. That's kind of one of the things. I feel like that's maybe the stereotype, like that kind of maybe goes out.
It's all love and light.
Yeah, and that's just like, it's just what they call it? It's toxic positivity, right? Is that what they call it? Like, it's not. That's not how it is. It's we're human beings.
Yeah.
And we just want to make people feel better, but we also have to cater for ourselves as well, you know. So some days we might be having off days or so on and so forth. So I think sometimes it's the analogy that because we do what we do, that we are like superhuman, and then sometimes I think people feel like they have to live up to that.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like I've kind of, I guess in my life in general, like as an artist and being on socials and stuff, I've just been very honest and very real about a lot of things in my life. And I feel like it kind of opens up the space for people to feel like they can just, you know, be vulnerable, because that's reality and that's life, isn't it? So I think that's probably one of the lows. Also, I just don't see a lot of teachers that look like me. And, you know, I think during this last year and a half, I've found more and realised that there are many of us out there, right? But
hence why Yoga Journeys is here. Yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, it's most of the people on the journeys, I found them in like the last, I guess, year and a half or so, because I was like, right, something needs to change. If I'm going to be facilitating this practice, I have to I want to be identified. I want to find people that I can identify with, and that's one of the reasons, like, I think why I really put myself in spaces, because I know what I identified with at school and during my studies and stuff like that, and I want other students of colour to feel like that as well, you know. So and women as well. And yeah, I think that's kind of one of the lows where just I feel like we're in spaces, but I feel like we should be in many more spaces than we are. We are as qualified and just as skilled as the next person. Yeah. And then I guess that kind of what does yoga look like? That for me really bothers me, because like if you type it in on the Google, on the internet, it's, you know, it's, it just is, just change is happening, but there just needs to be a lot more change.
Slow but sure.
Exactly, so I guess that's a couple of my lows.
Do you have any highs?
Oh gosh, many. So
great.
So they outweigh the lows, right? And that's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why we show up. So many connections, the amount of people that I've connected with and met during being during my yoga journey. You know, I've made some friends and for life, connections for life, and just being able to meet like-minded people, I guess, that are striving for the same things as you, that want the same things as you, or it's just such a wonderful, really lovely, nice and humbling feeling. The fact that I can like share my knowledge with others and possibly help alter or add or their life a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be radical, but the fact that I can assist in doing that, like I said, you know, my purpose when I entered, you know, the yoga world as a practitioner of a physical practice, very, very quickly, it changed my life spiritually, holistically, my diet, everything down to the food, the clothes I wear, everything changed quite quickly. And so I feel like if it's done that for me, I you know, it can easily do that for other people. So my again, like I said, no longer about myself. The fact that I can show up for people every day or every other day whenever I'm teaching and hold space is really
powerful. Very powerful. Powerful. Any other highs that outlow the
highs as well, like the places, what you can do, like I'm a traveler, so I love to travel, and with this, well, I guess being a yoga teacher, facilitator, practitioner, you can basically kind of do this anywhere in the world. That was one of the goals as well, you know, you can do this anywhere and get those connections. I think it's so important to like connect with people on a human level wherever you go, you know. And so that for me, loving that. What else? I guess the knowledge that I've gained and how I've realized yoga is actually really applicable to so many realms of real, like actual life, you know. Like going on the yoga trainings that I've been on, your knowledge just deepens and you just want to know more and more and more, and there is more and more and more to know. Like I don't ever feel like I'm going to know everything.
No, I've accepted that. That's just not possible to ever know it all. I just don't think it's possible. Yeah, and I'm at ease with that. Yeah,
absolutely. And there's joy in that as well, because learning. So for me, I think the knowledge and what it's done for me spiritually, it's connected me so much deeper with like myself. And just I feel like I know myself really, really quite well just through this practice, because you kind of have to face things, you have to confront things, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So many other highs, but those are like those.
No, it's great, thank you. So what got you through the 3 lockdowns? Were they different, or just share your lockdown experiences? 1, 2 and 3.
Okay, so the first one, what got me through movement, literally, like the first one was actually okay for me. And I actually didn't really, I guess, struggle so much in terms of being at home. Just because before that I had kind of made a conscious decision to slow down, you know.
Right. Okay.
I've kind of been running on not an empty, but at my maximum for sure. And I had a burnout some years ago, and I vowed to not get to that level again.
Absolutely.
But there was this another life-changing trip that I had to Bali at the end of 2019. I was there for a month, and I came back, I think just after Christmas, I think. So then 2020 came in quite soon after, and this trip had really just changed my life dramatically, like in so many ways. It was a lot of things, but I'd had an I guess a spiritual awakening, what I would call it. I was doing practicing a Kundalini class at the yoga barn in Ubud, and I was a meltdown on the floor in tears, like like something was shifting and happening, and that kind of that stayed with me when I came back to London, to the point where I was like, this felt weird now. What I was my life was all just a bit strange now. I felt like I wasn't meant to be here. So I'd kind of pulled back a lot. And then come January 2020, again, still going at a very slow pace. You know, like if you go away to a place where it's kind of chilled, and then you come back to London and it's just like,
I know. Yeah.
I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I think after doing the TT course, the training that I was doing, I was hyper sensitive to so many things, because you connect with yourself so deeply that things change massively, right? And then I just took a step back. So when March came, it was actually nothing really changed in terms of the fact that what changed for me is the fact that I wasn't leaving the house every day to go to work.
Yeah.
In terms of my motion of really taking time out for self and slowing down, nothing really changed in that respect. So that's kind of what got me through, actually. And I exercised a lot. I was training a lot, and family, you know, I guess, like with family kind of got me through. And then the second one, I actually wasn't here. I left in October to go and live in Portugal. So it's quite a long story, and you know, I don't know if anybody wants to hear this. Some people do.
No, you can give us a praise-seed version. Do you have a friend in Portugal?
No.
Why did you choose Portugal?
Because it was somewhere that was hot, and I just didn't want to be here. So
good for you.
So the plan was, when I got back from my travels from doing my course in December 2019, I then started to progress plans to then go back to Bali to do my Vinyasa and Hatha teachers training, which was October. So the flight was booked, everything ready to go, but then obviously no, Bali was closed. They weren't letting anyone in. Got cancelled, rebooked, all sorts of stuff, and then, you know, quit my job and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
So I did, and then did my course away when I was there, and kind of put myself in like a little retreat for a few months. And then the third lockdown happened when I was away. So then I was kind of a little bit worried about not being able to get back. So I came back, and then came back into darkness and cold.
Yeah.
It was just depression of like, it was just not great. It was really hard for me. It was tough. What got me through that one? Oh goodness, faith and hope. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
And I tell people this as well sometimes, knowing that behind every grey cloud, there's always a sunshine and a blue sky. And it was kind of that notion that kind of just got me through the days, you know, because I remember thinking in the summer lockdown, oh my gosh, imagine if we were in lockdown in winter. Oh my God. What
I know. I think everybody said that in the first one. I think everybody said the same. What the weather was making it bearable, you know, but but hey.
That kind of came through. And I guess financially as well, like like nothing was open. So it was that thing of coming back and, you know, not having a stable income as well. So that can affect you as well and things like that. So like, you know, and then working online, great. But, you know, by that point, I think everybody was kind of just over teaching classes online.
I know.
Like I'm still happy to do it, and I will still turn up for classes online as well. but it's nice to have the choice. I think now we have the choice.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think online's here to stay.
Yeah, I do. And I'm, to be honest, I'm all for it. I know many people aren't, but like, I think it's great having the option, you know, coming up for a lot of people. And also you just get to reach a lot more people. It's more accessible for people that can't be with you in the space, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think it's great. But yeah, I think that's the second one didn't even exist for me, but the third one was pretty.
Okay. So did you not have restrictions in Portugal? Portugal wasn't locked down by that point?
No, I think they had like a week where we had a 10 p.m. curfew, which
wow,
I didn't even realize was happening because I was in sort of retreat mode, you know, studying whatever and cool. So I didn't even really realize. But no, there was no. I know that now since I got back, there've been on lots of restrictions and amber lists and so on. But I mean, honestly, Yvonne, I got to the airport and I was the only person in the airport at one point.
Really?
At one point, yeah.
Wow.
It was a bit like a ghost town, but it was quite nice because, yeah, I really felt, wanting to leave London and just kind of get away, it was the most perfect thing that I did. Yeah, so
good for you.
And then to coming back and having all these restrictions and being told what to do all the time.
I know. But yeah, luckily we're getting to the other side of that now. So yeah. Okay. Cast your mind back to summer, May, June, when George Floyd was killed. May he continue to rest in peace. Can you remember when all the Black Lives Matter protests were going on? Do you remember A, getting increased followers on your socials? And B, do you remember getting approached by studios who suddenly realized they needed to diversify their teams?
Right, yeah. Yes, and yes. I'd say even companies, not even like just, I guess, studios. Like
Okay.
So to the first question, and I think my following in terms of who I follow also increased as well.
Right.
Because I was like eager to find, because obviously within the yoga industry there was like a massive uproar, like it kind of gave people a platform to start talking about things.
Yes. Yeah.
So then it made me, I think I knew the yoga industry was, but that really just brought a lot of things to the forefront, didn't it? Right?
Yeah.
And so it made me kind of go and dig deeper and want to like find other practitioners and stuff like that. So my actual following of people went up. But yeah, I did find that it increased quite like every day, pretty much. And then sometimes I would maybe post things and then you would see that numbers go down. So it's like your content isn't suitable. It's too, I don't know, controversial or too based or whatever, so it got to the point where I actually wasn't really I wasn't going to filter myself.
No, why should you? No. Enough of the filtering. Yeah
exactly.
Okay.
And my voice did actually get a little bit louder during those times, and it's kind of stayed with that.
That's good. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just having, it's nice though, just having open conversations now,
Definitely.
Yeah.
The work still goes on. It's like, it's okay, Black Lives Matter not in the headlines now, but the world had to sit up and the work still continues. So tell us about the companies that you say approach. So this is new. I've not heard this. I've heard studios and some affiliations, but yeah, tell us about the companies approaching you.
So I'll talk about, I don't want to mention the actual
no names. Oh no, you don't have to mention names. No names.
But there was a brand who I absolutely love, and I actually use their products as well. But I was approached by them. They make yoga mats and like very well known yoga mats. And I was approached by them, and they were kind of reaching out in a really nice way to, you know, to, and I don't even know how they found me, to be honest, but in a nice way to sort of say, is there anything we can do to support you? Like, can we do this? We want to amplify your voice, basically. And, you know, we were kind of having messages back and forth and stuff. And there was some stuff that took place, which was great. And I feel like I just kind of need to reconnect with that specific person, because I feel like there were things that we talked about that could still happen. But it was kind of just out of the blue for me. I was just like, wow, okay, cool. And the fact that I was using their products as well, and they wouldn't have known that was quite...
Well, they would have known that, because they would cross-check their database.
Oh, okay.
If you've bought products online as well, if you've bought stuff online, and had it delivered, you're in the database, so they will cross-check quite easily. Yeah.
Oh, well, I felt really quite like, I was like,
yeah,
oh, pretty cool. So, you know, that was kind of it felt like it was coming from a really good place.
Because you're a customer. So in essence, they have reached out to a customer to build another relationship with that customer.
Okay, cool. What are you saying? I'm not quite sure.
No, but I just mean, you know, you're saying they reached out during, you know, you're saying it was a surprise, and how did they know your details? But if you're saying you use their products and you've bought from them, you're a customer, right?
Yes.
And that's one relationship. But now they've approached you for something else because they want to support you and amplify your voice. Well, that's not you as a customer then, is it? That's now a different relationship. That's what I mean. It's a positive thing that they're building on the base.
Okay, cool. I was wondering if I was thinking I was naive by thinking, oh, they did this.
Oh, no. It's just in some respects they've done their homework, haven't they? To know that you're a customer. Maybe that's why they approached you, because you understand the brand or whatever. But it's a positive thing either way, even without you having the product. Yeah. As long as it's a consistent, sustained relationship. Sustained is the key word, right?
That part right there.
So has it been a sustained relationship?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I probably need to reconnect, because there was stuff that was talked about that possibly hasn't come to pass as yet. However, there were things that were talked about that happened. But do you know what I mean? In terms of consistency, I want to think that they didn't just reach out because of the time and so on and so forth. So that's why I'm going to reconnect, just to, you know, see the space.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. No, there's no naivety in it, and I'm sorry I didn't mean that at all in that way.
Oh, no, but no, not at all.
No. I just think sustained. That's the key word. Yeah.
Consistency. And the thing is, and you said the key thing as well, homework. You know, like a lot of people need to do more of the work and homework, because like I think they would find that, I don't know, you just get a different level of is respect, I don't know, respect, acknowledgement, that kind of thing, because
understanding,
yeah because you want it, you think it looks good, it's the genuinity of it, right? And I felt like that particular that company was being quite genuine. And then there was another one, again, another brand is actually the aerial silks that I use. Again, I'm not quite sure, I might have put something on my story, I can't remember, and tagged them or whatever, but they again reached out and were like,
great.
How can we again amplify your voices and so on and so forth. So there was brands, and then a couple of studios. And I think even now, the thing is, with the difference with the studios, I find the consistency is still there with some, you know.
Okay.
They are still wanting to bring you into the space, even, and that's good.
Yes, absolutely.
More yoga is definitely one of them.
Put that again.
I said more yoga is definitely one of them. So honestly, I truly feel like that.
Absolutely.
I think that's basically, I can't even remember what the question was, but hopefully I answered it.
You did. It was about additional followers, studios that approached you in the wake of George Floyd's killing and the Black Lives Matter protests. You fully answered the question. So now it's all about you. Promo, what's coming up for the rest of 2021? What do you want to tell us about? Workshops, retreats, your business? You know, tell us what you want to tell us. What do you want us to know?
Oh my God. I cringe when I talk about myself. It's like, ew. But I understand we've got to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had to put that to bed, that thought of like what promo is cringing. It's not, because you're building yourself as a brand and people want to know what you're doing. So
you're self-employed, right?
Yeah. So I have a part-time pay employed job, but then I'm pretty much self-employed, and I've been freelancing, I think, for 20, I don't know, a long time. Year plus or whatever. And so last year during that, so I've got a couple of things. So for those that don't know, my career started as a dancer, went into choreography and teaching, and now I'm a yoga teacher. So I still haven't worked as a choreographer for the whole of last year, actually. Just I kind of took a back seat, I think. I was a kind of a welcome break, I guess. But like, obviously, funding for the arts, as many people know, has been a bit rubbish in the last year and a half, so it's quite difficult. But I still use my artistry as an outlet and movement and stuff like that. And, I kind of access different strands, I guess, at different parts of my life. So they're always there. I just access different parts. So yeah, I work as a choreographer. I have a company called Note to Self Dance. You can find us on Instagram. I started that company in, oh my gosh, I think it's about 7 years old now or something.
Wow. Note to Self Dance.
Yeah, 7 or 8 years old. And yeah, so if you find me, it's just kind of in my bio on there. And that's a collective of mindful artists, and we work together and create movement when we are in the studio. Yeah, when we're in the studio. So at the moment it's me, because it's been like a whole year and a half of just kind of me taking a back seat. But yeah, hoping to get that started up again soon with a new cohort of dancers. And then last year I started my small business. So I'm like kind of a stationery addict. I love notebooks, love pens. I carry a pencil case in my bag and a notebook. I very rarely use my phone for any kind of like notes or anything like that. I'm kind of school, because I am a lot older than I look, as many people might not know, but I am a lot older. So I kind of grew up in an era of like, writing. And before I was even an artist, I wanted to be like a writer. And
okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of something that I've always kept. So I started my own company last year, initially to sort of create a stationery brand, but it was in light of, I guess, what was happening in the yoga industry at the time, and not seeing. I think I was looking for maybe a card or a calendar with black yogis, and I couldn't find them. And
right.
And I didn't shop. I've never ever been an online shopper until I guess the last year.
Lockdown.
Yeah. I'm very tactile. I like to touch things, smell things, and I shop with my senses. So shopping online was just not a thing for me. But now I've got this online brand, which is ironic. But like, I wanted to find some cards, or I can't remember, it was a calendar, I think, with just black people in general, but maybe black yogis when I couldn't find any. And so I started my own brand, basically.
Amazing. What's it called?
It's called Ebony Coco. And it's kind of, I guess, an extension of me. So Ebony being black, and Coco, I guess, referring to as chocolate, black chocolate. So it's just like an extension of me, and I felt like it was nice to have, because I'm quite widely known as Coco, so to have like an extension as opposed to something that really didn't belong to me, I guess. So yeah, I started out, what did I start doing? I think cards and bottles and stuff like that. and then now I have an online shop on Etsy.
Amazing, amazing. Good for you. Good for you.
I've got some stuff here. Actually, I've got a bottle here.
Oh yes, please show us.
Pretty, pretty. So this is my bottle currently. This is like really weird that I'm advertising this stuff.
Okay.
But find these like online. So my the ebony Coco, and what I wanted is so the yogi. There's a yogi here, and so it's kind of like an inclusive brand, I guess, in terms of many things like, you know, gender, sexuality. I'm trying to all of that. The yogi is actually a plus, a large.
A plus size, yeah. Great.
Because I feel like it's not seen enough, you know. There are some companies out there that are really pushing that. I feel like it's just not different bodies and in space, and they're just not seen enough, I guess. So I'm trying to, still working on it, but trying to really include many realms of, like I said, gender, sexuality, body types, you know, different bodies. So that's that. And then I've got like a little range. I'm actually going to send you some stuff, Yvonne. Do you know?
Oh, too sweet, too kind.
No, I am, honestly.
Oh yeah, show us some of the cards with the yogis. Have you got cards with the yogis?
I have an artist that works for me. So these are some of the artworks. So
oh, beautiful.
they all have names, and they're all named after members of my family. So I think
wow.
She was the first one I released, and she's named Zaya after my 2-year-old niece.
Amazing.
And then we have, and obviously we've got different, and seeing like, I guess the artwork with like nationalities, I hadn't seen that as well. So I was just trying to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, lovely.
I have Samuel, who's from Ghana, and that's named after my brother.
Wow, okay.
And then, so I put them on cards as well, like birthday cards. So
beautiful.
Cards and things like that. And then I did these calendars recently. I'm going to send you a couple of these calendars if you'd like.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you so much. I have Samuel because that was my late dad's name. Oh. Yeah.
I will. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of these. And then,
beautiful. Really nice stuff. So this is on Ebony Coco.
Yes, you can just go to my page at CocoRed 81, and then I've got in the bio like the links up there. Ebony Coco 20 actually, because Ebony Coco was taken. So name, the brand doesn't exist apart from with me apparently. But
right.
Taken. So 20 because that was the year of birth.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's Antonia. She's named after my sister. That's her middle name, Miss Nigeria.
Wonderful.
Yeah, various things.
Beautiful.
And then, the dance company. And then, what am I doing? I'm teaching aerial, yoga.
Where do you teach aerial?
So I work at a company, various places. Like I'm covering a lot of classes, which is actually.
Do you have a weekly class?
No. So I've been offered, but the days just don't align with what I guess my schedule and what days I have. So, and I have so many different things going on. I actually really enjoy covering because that way I feel like I'm probably teaching more that way as well. Also getting, and the fact that like people trust me to cover their classes, as you know, obviously is really nice. It's a nice thing, isn't it? So
yes, it is. Yeah.
So aerial yoga. I'm teaching vinyasa some days. Like I put all of these stuff on my Instagram, on my schedule. I'm teaching restorative flow in a couple of weeks at the Lodge Space. That's in Canada Water. So I'm now like sort of working as a cover teacher for Gym Box as well. I was there.
Nice.
That was pretty cool.
Do you have any online classes that are yours weekly now?
No, not yet. I'm thinking of possibly doing that maybe pray we don't. I don't even want to utter the words, but
no, don't utter. Don't.
But if I do,
moving on. I'm
gonna start doing that possibly through Ebony Coco, through that strand, because I want to start offering practices like through the brand. So as well as it being a stationary brand, I've kind of evolved it into a space where it's now about offering, classes and stuff like that. So yeah, if anything does happen, I possibly might be going online. But yeah, I'm just like here and there and everywhere. I guess like socials is the best place time to catch up with me and where I am.
Wonderful.
And recently, I just want to talk about the shirt that I'm wearing as well.
Yes. What about the shirt? What's the story with the shirt?
So I am a brand ambassador for a company called In Flight Limited, and the lady who runs it, whom I know, she's an artist and she's a movement artist, choreographer, business owner, everything. And she has recently launched her brand. Actually, when this goes out, she would have launched it properly by then. But yeah, it's kind of a sustainable brand. I'm just going to get the actual thing, like what the ethos of the company is about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm part of the In Flight Collective.
Mm-hmm.
And the mission is pioneering merchandise by creatives for creatives. So it's artists basically creating sustainability for artists, because we definitely need more of that. A sustainable business model that generates unlimited output possibilities whilst recycling revenue into upscaling new art. Our mission is also to lead a new era of growth, development and sustainability within the creative industry by delivering business solutions that promote, enable and elevate professional artists to have long and sustainable careers in the arts. And they can be found on Instagram, In Flight Limited. So the t-shirt is designed by Rachel Kay.
Mm-hmm.
Is the one of the CEOs of the company, and this is it's very pretty. Oh, can you see it?
No, well, the lights get, or maybe over there a bit more, because the lighting's quite bright. Okay, yeah. Nice.
And then her on the back here.
So nice. Yeah, that's nice. Turn around more. Turn completely to the... Nice. Okay, lovely. Yay.
We designed these t-shirts with her artwork on it. She literally drew all of these.
Beautiful.
And now they're on brand. So I've got like notebooks and all of these.
Nice. And do you sell them on your site as well?
No, so they will be launching separately.
Right.
They've got a shop and a site and everything. And then we have an event on, I think it's the 29th of September. Yeah.
In person?
In person. It's in the theatre. It's going to be at the Round. So I just need to double check.
Where's that? Swiss Cottage? No, not the Round. No, I'm thinking of something else. The Round House I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No. Where's the Round?
This is, I'm not quite sure, but the event will be at the end of the month. What I'm going to do is like, put end of September, sorry. I'm going to put like some, I guess, details like on my stories from next
Lovely.
week.
Great.
And what I can do as well is send you the with in the blurb, like underneath, just any details about the event, because we really want people to come and support us.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And that's basically me. That's kind of what I'm up to these days at the moment.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, sharing your yoga journey. It's been great.
Hopefully I didn't chat too much.
No, it's your journey. It takes as long as it takes. There's no time limit. It is your journey, and it's been an absolute joy hearing all of the journey. So thank you so very much. And yeah, you are the final journey. So thank you. Thank you so much for closing out the season. So this is going to premiere live on well, not live, the recording's going out Monday 23rd, because we decided to do a pre-record. But yeah, Monday 23rd it will be screened. It will go up on the More Yoga site. And if you've missed any of the previous journeys, many of them, they're all up on the More Yoga YouTube site, just where you found this one. Please enjoy. So thank you to More Yoga. Thank you to Shamir Sidhu, the founder and CEO, and to Beck, who have just been amazing, allowing us to have the space. And every single yogi that has come on and shared the story, thank you so very much. And yeah, just keep amplifying our voices, keep being good allies, and yeah, keep shining bright and doing the work. Thank you so very much for tuning into Yoga Journeys. All the very best. And thanks again, Ebony, Coco, Natasha Lee. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.